everybody, and welcome to the Keto 101 videos with Yogi. Make sure that you click like and subscribe down below so that you can get all the new videos. Give us feedback on the comments, and make sure you check the show notes for any kind of offers or links to products that we may mention into the show videos. Also, remember, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is simply guidelines of how to do a ketogenic diet in basic standards and how I would follow the ketogenic diet. All right, everybody, have a great day and enjoy the video. Hey, everybody. So welcome to another Keto 101. Today we're going to talk about good fats versus bad fats. So you want to have in your keto diet, if you're doing the standard guidelines of 70% fat, copious amounts of good fats. And what I mean by good fats is fats that are not processed in industrial factories in such a way that they add a lot of inflammatory components to them. So what we're looking at doing is having healthy fats that are extracted through non-chemical processes, and we're looking at fats like coconut oil, olive oil, that's extra virgin real olive oil. We're looking at animal fats such as butter, beef tallow, pork lard, especially from naturally pastured animals, chicken fat, the schmaltz, duck fat, anything like that. The fats that you want to stay away from are the industrial fats, and these are canola, soy, cottonseed, most sunflower and seed oils in general. And the reason why you really want to stay away from it is how they're made. If you take these things, if you take a canola seed or a soybean seed and you try to squeeze it, you're not going to get really any oil out of it. In order to get oil out of it, they have to use this process where they put the seeds in extremely caustic chemicals that are carcinogenic. Most of these are banned throughout the world. And they also blast with hexane gas, which is an extremely toxic gas. That's how they extract these oils. These oils basically come out rancid, and we don't want to do rancid oils. Rancid oils are oxidized oils, and they can create inflammation in the body. And it can cause problems in your body if you're doing a ketogenic diet and you're consuming a lot of these bad oils. Most of your fry oils are going to be these trans fat oils that are, one, extracted from the process that I've told you, and to make them capable of lasting in the fryer for a long time or being able to be a solid at room temperature, they do another step. And what a trans fat is they blast the fat molecule with hydrogen and add an extra hydrogen molecule to it. Well, this also creates problems in the body because your body doesn't recognize these things as food, and they're actually very carcinogenic as well, and can cause mutations in cells. They have shown that they cause brain problems, and they also have shown to have bad effects on your cholesterol. You might lower your cholesterol, but the quality of the cholesterol in your system is going to be really bad. So you really want to stay away from these things. When I was driving on the truck, there was more access to the bad fats than there was the good fats. The bad fats were everywhere. If you go into the Flying J's or the Loves, all the stuff, pretty much almost all of it that was behind the counter in their hot deli section, the fried chicken, the whatnot, they're all cooked in these bad fats, and they have a lot of them in there. These bad fats can actually drive fat storage. They can do all kinds of things to your body. So instead, I carried with me naturally pastured butter. I carried with me naturally pastured animal fats. I carried with me olive oil, best quality olive oils I could get, because a lot of those you got to be careful with. Sometimes they mix bad oils with the olive oil and tell you it's pure olive oil. So it's important to know which ones are good and which ones are bad, which we can talk about in a later video, and I can give you some resources about that. I would carry a lot of avocado oil, which is fantastic for frying and holds up pretty well. I used bacon fat. All of these are good fats. Now, another aspect of fats that you have to look at is your omegas. There are several omegas. The main two that we're going to talk about is omega 3 and omega 6, but there is also like omega 7, there's an omega 9. So there's a few more out there, and I really can't speak to as what all those do, but omega 3 and omega 6 I can tell you. Both of them are necessary fats in your diet. However, we get too much omega 6 in our diet. It's everywhere. It's so copious in the foods that we eat. It's very high in your grain fed um, um, beef that's raised in CAFOs. It's very high in your rancid oils that people are using to fry with. It's very high in peanuts. These oils actually can create inflammation in your body. So they're good because it tells your body where it's has a problem, like a wound, and helps drive healing. And it is an essential part of your immune system. But too much outside of a healthy ratio of omega 3 and omega 6 can drive too much inflammation in your body and lead to things like hypertension, and it could lead to skin issues. It can lead to overstressing your body and adrenal fatigue. So many things. All right. And omega 3 on the flip side, if you're getting a quality omega 3, is your anti inflammatory oil. So you want to consume that. And it's available in especially your wild caught fish. It has a proper ratio there. Your omega 3 fish oils. If you're a vegetarian, then there are certain algae oils which are high in omega 3, but it takes a lot more work for your body to absorb them. So you have to take a lot more. And then you also you can find these omega 3s in good ratios in naturally pastured animal products, such as grass-fed, grass-finished beef, naturally pastured pork, naturally pastured chicken eggs. So these are really great sources, and what that's going to do is it gives your body balance. And what you want is more of like a as close to a 1-to-1 ratio in your body as possible. So it's really important to consume these, and it will take the inflammation down and help get you out of a stress level. If you get injured and you have the big swelling and you need the swelling to go down, the omega 3s are a key factor in that. You have to be careful though too, because if you are on blood thinners, omega 3 is also a blood thinner, so you have to be careful if you're on any kind of drug or things to thin your blood if you have hypertension. These are both essential oils. We need to consume them, but we need to watch the ratios. So those are healthy fats, but one we get too much of, and that's the omega 6. So that's basically the breakdown of healthy oils versus bad oils. Here's some tricks you can do to add more healthy oils to your diet. You can make pestos. And pesto doesn't just have to be the typical basil pesto you see everywhere, but you can do all kinds of stuff with it. You can make a Mexican style pesto and change the basil out for cilantro, put some lime in there, some peppers. I've made mint pesto for lamb. That's a great way to get olive oil with linoleic acids and things in there into your diet. It's a great way to raise your fat ratio up so that you can ensure that you're staying within your macro ratios. Butter, fantastic. Put on steaks or other food. Ghee, cooking your food in ghee. Egg yolks. You get a naturally pastured egg yolk. It is going to have the proper omega 3, omega 6 ratios, and eggs are basically concentrated chicken. So you're going to get a lot of the same nutrient density from the egg yolk, that nice fatty egg yolk, as you would get in things like liver. we want to consume good amount, as long as you're not allergic, you want to consume good amount of seafood, and especially cold water seafood. Things like cold water salmon, sockeye salmon's really good for this because it eats a lot of algae. You want to consume oysters and mussels and a lot of shellfish. Not only do they have the good omega-3s and they're high in fat, but they are also extremely dense in nutrients. Lobster tail with some butter, extremely dense in nutrients. And add that butter, you get the additional fat, and you got a great meal that fits right into your ratios. Also good source. All those are also good sources of protein. You can make a hollandaise sauce. And hollandaise sauces are fantastic ways to have a creamy sauce. You can do an eggs benny, use it on vegetables. You can use it I've made burger bennies. I've made salmon bennies with it, with the eggs. And I've even used it on steak as kind of like a steak sauce. So it's really good to go there. Hollandaise with a keto fried chicken with pork rinds, little hollandaise to pour over it. Fantastic. So those can be some good sources of fat that you can add into your diet to make sure that you stay in your ratios, and you're also going to be using good high quality fats. There are companies out there like Primal Kitchen or Epic that do make naturally pastured animal fats such as tallow, lard. Those are all great to have in your pantry to cook with. If you're going to do fried foods like fried chicken, those are fantastic to use. Mayo is another way to go if you like mayo. You have the egg yolks in there, which will add the nutrient density. You have the egg whites, which is the protein content, and then you have a lot of oil in there. And you can use all kinds of oils to make so many different tasting mayos and keep things kind of fresh and new and add them to different things. I regularly use bacon fat. I've used avocado oil. I've used a little bit of olive oil. I've even made mayo with butter before. So you can do any one of those things. Duck fat mayo is one that I've made before. You could do any one of those things, and you can add those to the food. You can turn them into salad dressings to add over your salad for a nice fatty salad dressing to make your salads taste good. You can put them on your burgers, anything like that, and then you're going to make sure that you get into those macro ratios, again, with the healthy fat content. All right, everybody, have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Oh, by the way, check below. Make sure you look for some links and discount codes that we've put on there down below that you can click through.